Okay, so as we spoke about the last couple of months preparing for this, we want to give you an opportunity, especially those of you who are visitors, to learn more about how this organization functions in terms of what types of things occur behind the scenes, which is most of it. If you have been coming for a while or just brand new today, lots of things go into play to make these activities happen, and so each person or persons from the committee are going to come up and speak, but Kim is going to walk us through, as the program person, how this works. We don't want this to be formal in the idea that if there's a question right there on the scene kind of thing, we certainly want you to be able to have that opportunity and for some discussion if there needs to be. I also want to point out, just in case someone forgets, because we put them on your table, if you decide today, like, I know I want to be a part of this group, and remember what I said earlier, you can give as much or as little as you have time or resources to do. Even though you've signed up for something, this is not like you are in charge of that committee and you are expected to come to every single thing. We recognize that all of us in here have responsibilities outside of this organization, but sometimes it's just a matter of a phone call, like last month when we were able to give out gift cards. We called several people that were on kind of existing committees, and that just happened. That is a contribution, despite the fact that you didn't come to a meeting maybe. So don't discount maybe your availability to be able to help in some way. You are more than welcome to sign up for more than one committee. If there are not enough lines on the paper, just draw one and we will add you in. And then the person who's in charge will contact you about getting involved down the road. So with that, Kim is going to come up and talk about how we're going to work through this today.
Oh, this could get really exciting. Hey, Rick Fay, will you go ahead and start walking up here, because I want to let you talk about the Glenstone Islands. We have a lot going on, and it takes more than one person to do things. And then when you have several things that an organization wants to do, it takes really more than one person on each of those committees. And so it's really important for us, if we want to continue the betterment and the excitement. I just posted on our NSBA Facebook today, I think it was KY3, did a article about a whole bunch of demolition. We're getting ready to tear down a hotel over here on the corner of Kearney and Glenstone. That's really exciting. It's things like that that we can be a part of and encourage and cheer that on, and very important for us to be aware of those. So anyway, this is just a way for you. I don't know what your 2022 New Year's resolution was, but if it was to get involved, be more involved in the community and make really good things happen, this is a wonderful thing. It's also a good networking group. We don't network. Nobody gets up and really sells anything. It's just kind of being a part of it. So it's kind of a low-key networking, but network, please. Please do that. So let's go ahead and get started. We heard from Rita about the Betterment Awards, and one of the things about Betterment is, speaking of the corner of Glenstone and Kearney, is our Glenstone Islands. And Rick Fay, I want him to talk to you a little bit about that, and he may even give you an idea that makes you go, oh my gosh, I want to go play in the dirt in the spring. Here you go.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rick Fay. Things here on the north side have really changed a lot over the last 6 or 7 years. And that's about the time that we started the islands. If you've noticed, we've got a new Walmart across the street. We've got a new Big Shots, slick and beautiful. Like you said, they're getting ready to do some demolition over there. We've got the new conference center here, and the parking, and the new Fairfield Hotel. Everything has really changed. Right at about that time, whenever things started to grow and change, one of our board members, Kevin Randall, brought to the board the idea for the islands. And we're talking about what we call the Glenstone Islands. They're right out here at Glenstone and Kearney. They're the two traffic islands, and we maintain everything there. Of course, if you look around now, it's beautiful, but it really wasn't that way in the very beginning. Whenever we started, it was just a patch of grass and weeds that got mowed about once a year, maybe once a year anyway. So we approached MoDOT and the city, and we got permission and the city's help with the Public Works Department to remove the dirt from those islands, and we came back in and we refilled it with good soil. rock paths, and hardy perennials that are tough to the sun and salt and extreme weather, water, lack of water, things like that. So this spring, you're going to be able to see Scott Buckman, one of our members, there he is, was able to procure 120 bulbs from Schafitzel's. And those are planted this year. So we're going to have, those are going to show up for about 2 to 4 weeks, and it ought to be beautiful. So I invite you to come by. Normally our year begins in March, whenever we do our initial spring cleanup, and then through the year we meet on a Saturday about once a month, and we do some cleanup, weeding, trimming, maybe some additional planting, things like that. It's not real hard work. It doesn't take us long. We only do this for maybe a couple hours at the most, and we have a lot of fun together getting it done, because you're able to look back and see what a beautiful job it is. We're recognized by MoDOT. If you take a look at the signs out there that are on them, they recognize the North Springfield Betterment. And so anyway, currently our committee members are, and if you all would stand for me, Ken Coltrane, Rita Sillick, Andy Simmons, Matt O'Hara's not here, and Scott Buckman, and our newest member, Roy Edge. So we have a good time, and if you all would like to get involved, take a look around at those people, get a hold of them or myself, and we'll put you on the email list. And you know, you don't have to be at every event, like you were saying, but it's we have a lot of fun, and again, you get a lot of satisfaction from what we've done. We get a lot of compliments and a lot of people just driving by wishing us luck and inviting us to lunch and other things like that. So anyway, it's a good deal. So I invite you all. Thank you all.
Great, that's great. And if, yes, thank you. Steve, come on up. I will tell you that when you're driving by and you see those guys working, they love it when you honk at them. Honk a couple times. Lay on the horn. Cheering them on. Okay, next up we have Steve Miller. He's been up here more than any of us today, almost. Steve is works on our communications, and our communications is how we get information to the membership. Also, some updates and different things that's happening out in the world. Our website, there's a lot going on in communications. So Steve has some exciting things going on, and he'll tell you. And by the way, we are having the committee members stand up for you to see. That way at the end, if you want to go and grab them and say, hey, can I hand you my card? Will you call me about Glenstone Islands or whatever, you can do that. So.
Well, hello again. I don't know how I got talked into the podium twice today. I'm not even on the communications committee. So who is on the communications committee so that I can recognize you, or you can be recognized, who would like to be known? Thank you, Rita. And I know Misty Schmitz is the chair. She's unable to be here today. Is that right?
I don't know if she is.
I think she's the chair. So, so just to give you some background, we do a newsletter, and historically the newsletter was something that was printed. We had a whole host of volunteers that got that thing from the concept to the printing press to being folded to being transported to being mailed and all of that. And then COVID came along, and everything kind of shut down that whole assembly line process. And we started just kind of sending the email as a PDF on email. This month for January, we've gone to an online marketing, so a MailChimp format, and that's given us some ideas of things that we can do that might be value added for the membership. We do have people that help support the cost for some of the membership and the newsletter in the past. We do sell ad space in the newsletter, and we'll continue to do so, but I think we could probably provide some additional value to that now that we're going electronically. It was really exciting to see we have provided electronic communication in the past, and you can watch the metrics on the back end. The newsletter was the biggest open rate, and it was a huge click-through. So that's how a lot of people registered for today, I believe. So That's kind of the things I'm thinking about, is how can we better communicate with you all. Also, we have a website that was built pre-circa 1800, and it's being updated. Between Matt and I, we've been trying to figure it out, and we've kind of reached a standstill on the evolution of it, but we will have something new that's a little more streamlined and looks more like 2022 coming your way soon. Hopefully you're reading between the lines when I say the newsletter was a bunch of volunteers. The website's being designed by two guys that are kind of like Click and Clack, if you've ever heard them on NPR. So what we're looking for is, I know there's some media experts in this audience, and what a great way for you to connect your talent to the need we have in this organization, because Matt's already said we don't have deep pockets, so we can't go out and we can't hire your service, but we'd sure like it if you donate it to our organization. So you can see myself or Rita or Matt. We'd like to have help with that. We also do a Facebook page, which we communicate through, and we have a LinkedIn presence. And then, unbeknownst to at least Kim and Jackie and myself until recently, we also have an Instagram page, which I don't think anybody knew that we had. So, again, insert, we're all a bunch of volunteers here. But if you'd like to get involved with helping us to really step up our game around the social media imprint, maybe how to really bedazzle our web design, we'd love to hear from you in that regard. Or maybe you see a different vision for how we could do all of this going forward. We'd certainly like to have that as well. And Matt, if he didn't mention already, it's part of the communication. If you do register for this, he will put you on a text message of sorts. I can't remember what it's called. Remind, is that what it is? And that way you get a text reminder to register for the events as they go forward. So keep that in mind.
Speaking of that, so we have toyed back and forth. We put Remind together for the purposes of registering for this event, because it helped us provide a count when COVID first started. But we have found that it's actually become a nice reminder. So what we're going to do is remove the RSVP reservation, because we have a fairly decent and predictable number now that we didn't have when we moved. So we've been at 37 years at Cox, so we kind of knew who was coming in November based upon historical numbers. When we moved over here, we didn't have that. We've established that now, and we can accurately predict kind of a lunch count. So you'll see that go away. But we're going to dump everybody off of the Remind list when the renewal period is complete. So please get those turned in. Start over again, and then you can opt out, and we will do that annually. That way, if you were on there and said, I don't want to get this text message once a month, you can delete yourself. But the come time of renewal, everybody gets back added in, and then you just take yourself off again. But we have found that the actual reminder part of that, the text that comes through a few days before, is helpful for people remembering that this is occurring. So be looking for a new notification, and to pull yourself back off if you want to, but I would encourage you to leave it on there. We only send a couple of text messages a month. It's not like we're hitting you every day with something. And then, of course, the newsletter and other ways. So whatever your preferred method of communication is, but we will register you, and then you can take yourself off if you want to. And if you could do the web page or help, we are not selling anything or doing regular updates, but certainly Click and Clack here, you could use some help. So anyone has that.
Step on up.
Yeah.
And at any time, just kind of as a forethought, at any time that you have maybe an idea that we could put out something about North Springfield, we'd be happy to put that on our Facebook page. Just kind of a two-way communication. Give us ideas. We'll make sure they get posted. Kim posts stuff. I post stuff. Rita posts stuff. I think Jackie Harness posts occasionally. So if you do have an idea for that, we'd love to hear from it. And the same thing holds true if you have an idea for the newsletter. I put that in most editions. Very seldom hear crickets, but very seldom will someone send me an idea, but nothing will be rejected unless it's just too outrageous. And then the only final thought is I was hoping that Natalie would say this, but I'm going to go ahead and point it out now. She said the reason that she decided they wanted to move to the north side was because when they lived in Fayetteville, they were part of Keep Fayetteville Weird and Keep Fayetteville Funky, and she wanted to be a part of what was happening on the north side. So I don't know what that says about all of us, but I'm glad someone funky is with us. So
I love it. You're right on. Thank you. Awesome. So yeah, content writers, people who have content experience, that you dabble with stuff that's happening in North Springfield, that would be something to definitely step up for if that's something that you would like to do. All right, next up, Brent Gilstrap. He is going to talk about membership.
Do this for a second. Thank you. Figure out how to work this because I'm going to set it down in a second. So Steve typically takes pictures, and he's had a lot of stuff he was doing. He said, hey, would you take pictures? So I'm grabbing pictures. If you would help me a minute, it's just kind of some maintenance stuff I need to do real quick before I get started. Hold on a second. Let me do this here. Since I was taking pictures of the speakers, if you want to, all right, everybody, you can just, and you can take a picture with me, okay? So everybody, let's see if my arms aren't real long, but I think I got everybody. All right, everybody think of something happy and smile. Here we go, 1, 2, 3. Tony, you had your eyes closed. Can we do this again? Okay.
Help it up, try it again.
So anyway, thank you for humoring me.
Oh, boy.
Okay, there we go. So anyway, I'm sorry. One thing obviously it's a volunteer organization. One thing you're going to hear, and basically the constant theme is really it's not just the few and the board or whoever that are doing things, but we're a group together, and we're here with a common mission of wanting to make Springfield better, North Springfield better. But it'd be great for all Springfield, but our main purpose is for North Springfield, and you all are a part of this group. So when you see somebody like in a neighborhood that's moved in and they're starting to do some work, you think, man, they've just done a really good job. Don't just think it, reach out and let's be able to honor people, honor to whom honors due, and same way with, and I'm speaking on behalf for membership. Matt is chair and has like 60,000 roles as president, and so I volunteered to do this section. I'm not sure what just happened on my phone, but that wasn't good. But from a membership aspect, we want to do some things, and let me do this real quick. All right, if you're a member, would you raise your hand? Okay, so there's a good number. If you are a visitor, raise your hand. Okay. If you're a first-time visitor, raise your hand. Okay, so what I'm wanting to do, there's only like 4 or 5. If I could get like a business card or write your name and number, email or whatever, what I'd like to do is a drawing today, and out of whoever, just do a random draw, and we'd like to maybe extend a gift to you. And then how many of you invited somebody today? Okay, that's here. Okay, all right, how many invited somebody today that isn't here? Okay, all right. Now Scott invites somebody, and he usually has a guest every time. I don't know, are you on this committee? Because this is like he is on this committee. I mean, and as a group, if we can, how can we encourage and support each other? How can we support the North Side? This is that process. And so that's what this committee is about. I do have kind of some specifics that I wanted to clarify on that, but I've got to pull up my notes. So if, again, this meeting, January, we usually launch the meeting like this every year, just to talk about what's the vision for the new year, but also what committees, what are we about, what do we do? And one thing that we'd like to do this year from a membership standpoint is to increase our membership. And the membership dues goes to be able to fund kind of the activities that, some of the other committees that we talked about, or we will be talking about, but also to support the North Side. So we definitely want to increase our membership. So if you're not a member, join. And if you are a member, think about people that you work with or associate with, and who would be a good fit, who would enjoy this process and that has a vision for the north side, and invite them to a lunch. So focus, bringing some new members. Now, I didn't write this. I want to put a caveat on this part here. So it's just, I'm going to read it. I'm going to give Matt a little hard time. Focus on bringing new members who are younger and good looking to grow the network. Can you believe you wrote that to me? Now, you're young and hey, good looking. Hopefully you'll join. Okay, all right. So actually, I just threw in the good looking part. He didn't put that. But he was talking about fresh vision, and people think of generationally, people that we can pass the baton to that can bring in fresh ideas, fresh support, fresh energy. So we want to focus. Really focus on anybody that would be a great fit. But one thing that we're also want to do is if you have some good technical skills. In other words, what would that be? Thinking of the disc profile. Is it a C? And I can't remember. If you're good with like paperwork, if you're good with organization, that's C. Thanks. I couldn't remember. Carol's going to be speaking in March, I believe it is, and talking about this very thing. But so if you have that skill and would like to join, there's minimal. Again, it's not a lot of work, but it's some minimal work to be able to do. So if you're good with details and good with that technical side of things, definitely could be able to utilize if you would like to join in. The one thing too I would like to do coming up in this for each time is to be able to recognize first-time visitors and people that are inviting people, and do some drawings, have some fun with it. And so look for that maybe as early as next meeting, where we can get your card or get some info that we can make a connection with you. But again, we're all members, of the committees, and I think you'll see that theme come out. But I want to recognize the people that are signed up for the committee. But Matt is chair, and I co-chair with him on that. Marcy Dollins, did Marcy make it today? So Marcy and Misty and Jessica, I don't think either one are here today as well. And I think Jessica has had some physical difficulties.
We're not getting new members right now.
Oh, okay. Oh man, talk about recovery. This is why he's chair. I'm telling you, I'm learning from him. But anyway, so besides me and Matt, those are the people. Marcy's been a long-time member. You'll see her here generally every time. Misty and Jessica are newer members that have been coming and more involved. But if you would like to be a part of this committee, first thing you can do is invite a friend, and then come up and talk with us, and we'd love to be able to help out.
All right, give it up. So I'm speaking next. I am the chair for the programs that we do, like this one today, and last month when we had the fun Christmas party, putting that stuff together. And I'm the chair with the co-chair. My co-chair is Brent, who just got up here and talked. And one of the things that he did not mention, and it actually helps lead me right into what I'm going to talk about, is one of the benefits of being a member is the education and the things that we bring, like we're doing today. But it is also a very inexpensive way, a very inexpensive group to be involved in, with not a lot of demands like some of your other kind of networking meetings that you go to, and there's nothing wrong with those at all. I just know in my world, I don't need to do all of that. That takes a lot of time. So this is a really good way that I can do a lot of the things that I want to do that feels good. It's very fulfilling to me for a low cost. It's only $85 a year to be a member individually. If there's 2 people from your company, it's $150 a year, or if you have 3, it's $175. And I think we even have a retirement price is 10, I believe. So 30. Sorry about that. That was back in 1800. Sorry. Back with the old website, sorry. So with that said, all right, membership. One of the things, it's our goal to bring you speakers that can teach and inspire and give you updates on the changes and excitement that's going on in North Springfield. I have heard I've been with this group now for 20 some years, and one of the things that I hear probably on a monthly basis when I'm talking to inviting people, they'll say, but I don't live on the north side. Well, you know what, buddy? I bet you have something going on the north side of Springfield. I bet you have a customer or a business, or children or a family. I mean, everyone is connected to North Springfield somehow if you're around here. So with that said, I like to look for things that is very North Springfield specific, but sometimes it is not. But you as business people, I want to help the business people to give you also the benefit of teaching. We've had people come in here and talk about changes in the IRS, health care in the workplace, especially now with COVID, retirement, what keeps you up at night? Is it your retirement? Things along those lines. We also have had speakers that come in and inspire us. Remember, I just forgot her name, but one of my favorites was the 21 Ways to Say Thank You. Yes, and different ways, nutritional habits to stay happy, good things like that. We've got some really exciting things coming up in the near future. We're going to have too. We've also done updates that'll give you guys some very behind-the-scenes updates of things that's happening. We had the police department come a couple months ago and talk about. We all know that they're short on staff. We've got all these questions, and they came in and they talked to us about their plans for recruiting. We have. We talked about mental health in the area and the schools, the excitement and the changes and stuff that's happening with the airport. Those are the things that I'm looking for to bring in for speakers. Speakers are not picked to sell my membership anything. I am very protective over that with everyone. Nobody needs a sales pitch. So, and we don't like it. It's here to inform. So, let me give you an example of that. Next month, I am super excited with our speaker, and he is the regional manager for Domino's Pizza. You won't even know he's from Domino's, except maybe a couple of the pictures he posts. He's not going to ask you to go dine. He's not going to ask you to do nothing. He's actually going to talk to us about how to love your job. That's what he's going to talk to us about, and I've heard him speak, and he's amazing. So those are the kind of things. So I get approached a lot about, oh, my boss wants to come to talk to everybody about this. Well, anyway, there's got to be something, what's in it for my membership? That's always what I ask. And so think about that. A lot of times we've got some amazing nonprofits, and I would love to hear and help from every single one of them, but I've just got to be a little bit different on what gets up here at the podium and talks to everybody. Let's see. So it's a benefit. Yes, I think I covered all of it. So here's what I would be asking from you. You probably know some things or have some ideas of speakers that you think would be really great. I know some, I go to another networking meeting too, and that's where I'm finding some of these that are really good. Is where I found out about Jeremy Hill from Domino's. If you go to something and you found a speaker that was really great, get their information, get it to us, Brent or myself, and then we can look at that and get those in. We are booked now out until March. We've got February and March booked, and I think we've got some possibilities for April and May, but definitely shoot those our way. So far, just I'm done with my speech. Next, transition in. Has anybody thought of something that's like, I'm really excited about something, I'm not going to call you out, I'm just curious. Do we have any hands of anybody that you thought so far, oh, there's something, you're shaking your head, I have a gift for you. Yeah, maybe you'll start answering me next time, King Coltrane. That actually is a free appetizer at Big Shots. Thank you, Big Shots, for giving those to you. Okay, next, Andy. All right, we're going to have to move pretty quick. We like to be out of here right at 1, and it is 9 minutes from now, and I've got 4 more speakers. So, Andy, Brent was a little bit windy. It's all your fault.
So I guess I'll just skip what I was going to talk about and just talk about real estate. No, I'm just kidding.
It's on.
I get to talk about the schools, which to me is a pretty big deal and a large part of what NSBA has done for a long time. So I guess I've got like 45 seconds. So we'll run through this real quick. 90, okay. So started, I really jumped in on this, I guess full steam was summer after COVID, I guess that's summer 2020. At that time, kind of me, Jordan, Debbie and Rick kind of thought about, hey, what's this look like with all COVID going on? How can we reshape this? And reshaping it has kind of been the consistent theme, both with conversations in the board and conversations that we've had with SPS. If you've come most every month, you've seen SPS principals, officials here supporting the group. So I'd encourage you just to say hi to them and thank them for coming, because they're taking an hour or two out of their day when you see them. So that focus, that shifting, what's that look like with things constantly changing has been our focus. Right now on the committee, it's myself, Misty, King, Rick, Debbie,
And Mike.
yeah, and Mike at SPS. I mean, you've got a really good opportunity to impact like kids and schools and to be part of good stuff that's going on at schools. And if you don't know what good stuff is going on at schools, then look at Facebook pages. We've brought some before you. I mean, there's good things happening at schools. So I'd encourage you to get involved with that, and you can impact a kid, you can impact that community, and you never know how that's going to play out. I'll give you an example. Go look at, search online, Brandy Harris with Boys and Girls Club. That's a story of someone who's impacting lots of people now and started on North Springfield. So let's talk about real quick about what this is kind of shaping up to be. And since we had things on hold till we got that membership survey back, that membership survey said what we thought it would, that the school thing is still something big and important to you all. So since then we've started trying to roll again. Ever since we started reshaping this, from talking to principals and kind of the way we thought it would go, it's been what would be most helpful is doing something at an individual school level. So a big event, obviously, especially when COVID first started, wasn't going to happen. So individual schools is likely what this program is going to look like. Some of these ideas have not been talked about with the board yet, so I'll be generic and not give away too many things. But I've got a list of our 13 schools, and we're going to need people to volunteer to work with that specific school. Likely what that's going to take the form of is probably one event per semester, and one event will likely have a family emphasis, because again, something we've consistently heard from the schools, from the principals, is that they need to be engaging and encouraging families. So most all of our schools, I think every one of our schools, is a Title I school. Those Title I schools have, I think they call them family engagement nights, so there's a good opportunity there to partner with what the school's already doing. And then something else, what would generally probably is going to happen in the other semester is we'll have something that's more of an academic, specifically focused more on the students. So that's likely how things will shape up. We certainly will look at other opportunities for you to do things and tweak it, how to meet the needs of that school. Because, you know, especially with what a principal might be wanting to do or something, that we want to give you freedom in that. Businesses, you know, if you think you're busy, you don't have time to volunteer, we can still use you. This will take resources, especially if we would really love to grow this and make a bigger impact with this. If you feel like you don't have time, I'm sure King would love to talk to you about how you could help financially, making some donations. So there is an opportunity for you wherever you're at kind of with things that you can help out with this. And that is my quick summary, I think.
You did great. Thank you. And just remember to reach out if you are wanting to help with that or be involved with that. It is a very wonderful, wonderful program, and at a time of big change for our group it's a 50-year-old group, and we've been doing that attendance program for 20-some years. Okay, yes, Jordan and Brandon, come on deck. King, you are on deck, and then Matt will wrap it up. But real quick, did anybody else feel like you feel like you found something that you want to do, you want to volunteer for? Anybody? You think you see? Okay. Would you like to go get an appetizer for shaking your head?
All right, I will keep this super short and sweet. I am the chair for fundraising. So on my committee, I have Sandy Gregory and then Misty Schmitz as well. Just our mission statement. So we're here to raise funds for the North Springfield schools, so the 13 that Andy was talking about. And it's to support the kids and the faculty to help grow their education daily and give them support that they actually need to accomplish their goals. So like he said, having those special events for the kids, for the parents, faculty, we are raising money to support them, as well as the North Glenstone Islands too. Just last month, we raised $800 with the December Christmas gift exchange. So that was pretty easy. Like Kim said, it was really kind of reaching out to the membership, getting people to donate certain items, gift certificates. If you had any connections, I know Big Shots was able to donate. We had a couple of restaurants, Little Caesars, Sonic. So just those connections that honestly you could probably have in your community, asking them just for donation items would really help out for fundraising. So we're always looking to grow our committee. Like I said, I only have 2 people on there. Some of our past events that we have done that have been successful, we had a wine tasting at the Macadoodles. So that was a really great event. If anyone has any ideas on something similar, we can definitely look into that. And then also we, prior to COVID, had the attendance party. So that was also a very large event that the fundraising committee was a part of to actually get the bicycles, scooters, the donations of the food for the actual event, vendors. So that's another kind of area that I help out with. But other than that, I'll hand it over. Brandon?
Okay, guys. So I'm Brandon. I am the treasurer for NSBA. I don't know if technically treasurer is a committee, but I'm going to say it is for now. And I'll be a little different. I'm not asking for anybody to join my committee or any help, but we will take your money. So, you know, things, guys, this is a really great group. We do some really great things, but unfortunately, like everything in life, to do those great things, it does take money. All our board is volunteering, and no person is getting paid, but supplies and things for those kids do cost money. So please make sure, you know, I know we've talked about membership, we talked about lunches, different things like that. Please get those in. As Matt, you know, mentioned earlier, guys, we love taking your credit and debit cards, but just remember we do pay an expense on that. I think it's between 3 and 5%, depending on, you know, the card and how much we run and everything. So if you or your business can do cash or check, we would respectfully request that, but obviously we'll take your money however we can get it. So not to be too greedy, but it is all going toward a good cause. So that's all I really had, and I'll turn it over to King, who also helps with the finances.
One thing you forgot to say was do not skip the lunch paying line. When you come in and eat, please pay for your lunch, because you will forget on the way out. We know everybody has the best intentions. Hi.
Really a public service announcement right in the middle of my deal? Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
You left me negative 47 minutes, you know, so come on. All right, extremely brief. The association existed. People wanted to donate money. They'd like to get tax-free donations. No vehicle for that to happen. So also we wanted to go out and recruit foundations to try and get them to donate. So the foundation was established to do that. We're allowed to give you the tax credits, and we're allowed to write grants and go after different fundraising vehicles than what the association does on their own. So briefly, that's what we try to do. If you all have the terrible problem of needing to write off something, we're more than happy to take that. If you are associated with a foundation or a grant, we're more than happy to talk to you about those as well. So that's in a nutshell what we do, and turn you back over to Matt.
Thank you very much. Okay, we are just now at the end, so hang with me I'm the last one, and I cut mine down to two sentences. Without Terry being here to give us a little bit of history, we began this organization in 1970. Ralph Slavens and a group of business folks, individuals recognized that the North Springfield area needed some attention. They met at the Arrowhead Restaurant, which is now the Village Inn on North Glenstone, just down the street, and the group of business leaders saw the need and established this organization 52 years ago. To remind you of the purpose, NSBA exists and shall encourage and promote worthwhile and honorable endeavors that will make North Springfield a better place in which to work and live. NSBA shall be alert to community needs in order to take constructive action for community betterment. So at the end of the day, all the projects that were being done, all the efforts that have come before us and that will go down the road has been a force for good in this part of Springfield. So please make sure before you leave today, my challenge to you is to look at the sheet and sign up. Just put your name down. If you get to a meeting and decide it's not for you, that's okay, but you've got the sign-up sheets on your table. And remember, as in closing, if this is your very first meeting, please don't make it your last. And to the entire membership, please get involved because NSBA and North Springfield need you. We hope you learned something today, and we will see you back here in February, where Jordan, who is going to be your speaker that month, I will be in Jeff City, so Jordan is going to be leading this meeting, so make sure you show up and give Jordan all kinds of love and support. So thank you very much.